spend a bit of time introducing some of the questions that were sent from our audience. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending in many questions. We're very happy to see much interest in JCM. So perhaps we can bring, oh, thank you, you are here, Ms. VIDYALANKARA, for the first question for you. Let's see, hold on, sorry, trying to get organized here. So first question is for you, Ms. Kumudini VIDYALANKARA from Sri Lanka. There was a question that was asked by one of the audience that I will read out the question in case some of the audience couldn't see the question. So the question goes, the carbon credit certificate should be with the approval of Ministry of Environment of Sri Lanka. So in other words, I think the audience is asking, should the carbon credit certificate be approved by the Ministry of Environment of Sri Lanka? So if you could share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, actually, this part I omitted in my presentation thing is that most of you know that in Sri Lanka there's no carbon trading framework or guiding principles prepared. Right now, in this year, we hope to complete that task. Most probably, this will be happen through the Ministry of Environment. Still no firm decision, but as per our expectations, most probably we hope that it will be happens through the Ministry of Environment. Thank you.
Thank you. And perhaps I can ask Takahashi-san from Ministry of Environment Japan, with the answer from Ms. Kumudini-san, is there anything you'd like to add to that question from the Japanese government side? Sorry, regarding the credit certification part, the question was.
Yes. I try to okay. I try to give the supplemental information to these questions. So thank you very much for these questions. And so so far we have only one selected project under the JCMs. It's related to the Shibata Corporation, and after they start the implementations of the projects, I think the renewable energies will be actually generated from the project, and also at the same time we will monitor the electricity generation, and after the verifications, we will ask the project participant to prepare the monitoring report as well as the verification report so that we can issue the credit. So based on their verified emission reductions, joint committee between Japan and Sri Lanka, we will receive the documents from the project participant. And as Ms. Kumudini mentioned, we will discuss whether we will issue the credit between Japan and Sri Lanka. And as you know, the focal point of the Sri Lanka side is the Ministry of the Environment of Sri Lanka. So I think as the co-chair of the joint committee between Japan and Sri Lanka, after we decide the issue of the credit, we will notify the amount of the issuance of the credit to the project participants. So after the notification, the project participants can confirm the actual issuance of the credit in the registry system. So registry system will be developed will be there, Japanese side and Sri Lanka side, and they can find the amount of the credit. So in our JCM registry, especially Japanese side, if project person want to get some, but if they want to really check the balance sheet, I think they can get the electric documents from the account under the JCM registry. So that's my supplemental information and answer to this question. So back to you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. And then while we have you here, Takahashi-san, there's another question that we were hoping to ask you. This is another question from the audience, which goes, when credits are finally transferred, how will JCM office ensure that there is transparency of funds and credits involved between selected JCM consultant from Japan and Sri Lanka project company? So Mr. Takahashi from Ministry of Environment, Japan, do you think you can also sort of provide your answer to this question as well?
Okay, so let me check again.
Or perhaps
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I actually confirm the questions. I think the so I think the yeah to prepare the documents for the credit issuance between Japan and Sri Lanka side, it's project participant side, they have to prepare how much we will be allocated between Japan and Sri Lanka side. And I think that according to the actually our JCM financing programs, actually according to our program, the basically the credit allocation will be divided depending on the how much Japanese side contribute to the project itself. So we provide a subsidy to the project up to 50% of the investment cost. So if the Japanese side contribute to the project around 50%, I think the credit allocations will be for Japanese side will be around 50%. So, but I think the subsidy ratio will be depending on the actual actual expenses of the project itself. So, but we will we have a formulate for we have an equation how to allocate the credit under the JCM financing program. So we will require those actually equations, and then we will ensure that transparencies.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't put each of you in the spot, but thank you very much. Those are excellent answers to the questions, and thank you very much. And I would like to bring in someone else for a different type of question. So thank you, Ms. VIDYALANKARA and Mr. Takahashi for answering those questions. And I am bringing back Ms. Kikuchi from GC. We have two questions for her, which were also submitted by our audience. And the first one is, it goes, what is the maximum budget allocated for a project of waste energy? Can we go up to 15 million US$ for year 2024?
Thank you for the question. I think I touched upon a little bit about this in the presentation, but basically the maximum amount is set to 2 billion yen, which is about $14.5 per project.
Thank you. And let's ask you another question. The question the audience asked, when will the international consortium be formed with the Sri Lanka project company? Is it after the approval of the project by GC?
Okay, so as I explained in the presentation, selected projects will go through administrative procedures and where you will get the contract of financial support. So an international consortium shall be set up before completing the contract of financial support. I hope that was clear. I hope that was clear, and there are many questions that are answered on the Q&A section. So if anyone's interested, you can have a look at the answers. And also, I think Yamaguchi-san, there is another question from the audience.
Yes, perfect. Sounds like it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Kikuchi-san.
Welcome. Thank you.
So Ms. Vidyankara, it sounds that we wanted to ask you yet another question while we have you here. There was another question that was submitted by the audience, which reads, I would like to know whether GOSL defined unconditional NDCs and conditional NDCs by now. If so, can we apply for JCM, which is categorized under unconditional NDCs?
No, actually, thing is that, as I explained in my presentation too, unconditional NDCs are the NDCs that we committed to implement by our own capacity, Sri Lankan government capacity. So if we get the JCM support for implementing NDCs come under unconditional category, then what happens, we cannot fulfill our emission reduction commitment because then part of these emission reductions goes to Japanese government. So unconditional part is very small. I think those unconditional NDCs have been decided by looking at the government implementing thing and things that keep under government authority. So these things cannot be implemented under the JCM support. So conditional part, you can select any options, I think, as the area for preparing your proposal. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Indeed, I think that's a very important definition or distinction that whoever is thinking of applying for JCM must know now that you clarify that unconditional NDC will not go under JCM project. So that's a very good answer, very good information. Thank you very much. And thank you for coming back to the screen to answer another question. And I think this